Tennessee before you guys really kind of got it going?
I mean, yeah, just a young team. I mean, really, but I would say the biggest difference, like I've been saying the whole week, is this team's really smart for being so young, and everyone kind of bought in. There's now really a lot of people pulling in different directions, so we're off to a good start.
I know you haven't hit anybody, so to speak, yet, I guess, in pads, but Derek Brown, your initial impressions?
I mean, he's a special guy. I mean, to be that big and be able to move that quick it's pretty crazy. I don't need the pads on to see what he can do. I've seen him on film plenty of times, just in film study. So I'm excited to really line up next with him this year and go out there and win some games.
Daquan, did you talk to many other teams before signing here?
I talked to a couple teams, but really just wanted to stay closer to home. Really was my main focus. So I felt like this is a good fit for me.
Is there anything about the defense being so young that was kind of like attractive to you?
I mean, I love a challenge. You know what I mean? I really do, and I just think with the guys we have on defense, I mean, there's so much we can do this year. You know what I'm saying? Like we can really go out there and be one of the best defenses in the league, and that's really our goal. And I think we can do that as long as we follow the details of what coaches want, and we go out there and execute every day.
So why do you think about Brian Burns the same way, and the potential there with having Hassan Reddick on the outside?
Say that one more time.
I want to ask you about Brian Burns. What did you think about?
I mean, he's a freak athlete. I mean, to be that quick off the edge and be able to bend like that, I mean, it's crazy. And I'm excited to go out there and be able to rush with him and see that dynamic on the field.
How does he make things easier for you?
I mean, I answered this question earlier in the week, and I really feel like you can slide and chip DNs and take them away all game. It's really the guys inside. You have to be able to collapse that pocket and make his job easier, right? You can't allow that quarterback to step up. So if the two guys inside do their job, you should be hearing a lot of Brian Burns on Sunday.
Daquan, the phrase kind of pick your poison has been the popular phrase among the D-line. How do you feel if maybe it's a play where Derek gets doubled or Brian gets doubled? How do you feel about having yourself in kind of single coverage?
I mean, Derek Brown's he's gonna attract attention and double teams, and same thing that Burns and Hassan on the outside. So you've got to be able to take advantage of those one-on-one opportunities, and when you get the one-on-ones, you got to win.
I'm sure this may have been asked, but I just jumped in. What's the biggest thing as a veteran that's seen, building a culture, what that looks like, you can bring to them? And I'm sure you'll say the small things, but what are the small things?
I mean, it's like, showing up to meet on time, making sure you're where you need to be 5 minutes early and going out here and really focusing on the details of practice. I mean, Coach brought up before practice started and talked about that, right? And so every period we're in on defense, we bring it up in the huddle, focus on the details, talk about every play, communicate. You can't over-communicate on defense. Be loud, be excited, talk to each other, and execute.
Has there been an example where you've either, grabbed a guy by the collar or put your arm around him, either way, and said, listen, this is how we got to do it?
I mean, just here and there on the sideline. I mean, if I see someone out there on the field and D-line per se, and they do something, I'll bring them over and I'll talk to them about what they can do, what I see, what I do that helps me out, and just stuff like that, just trying to build everybody up.
You get a feel for how many reps you'll probably play a game and what you're comfortable with?
No, I don't know. I mean, right now I'm just trying to go out here and compete with these guys and really see where things go.
We'll do one more, guys.
Daquan, what was the kind of tenor of Matt's talk before practice, and what do you think of his style so far?
I mean, I love it. I mean, he's a Penn State guy along with myself, and I just love everything that he stands for. And really just, have to be in the league for a while. When you have an off day, you come out here kind of like sluggish, and you're dropping balls and doing all this. And his real message was just, don't let that happen. I mean, good teams don't allow a day off to set you back and let you lose what you gained so far.
You say you love
Thanks,
his
guys.
style.
Sorry, Coach is walking
Thanks,
out. Thank
Daquan.
you.
You need Daquan for a few more minutes. You can see that.
Are you still trying to reinforce what happened Saturday night where you were?
Well, no, really, it was the first time I've had a chance to talk to them since Saturday night, because we had Saturday night and then we had nothing Sunday. So, I mean, when you have a chance to watch the film, there's good things, there's bad things. Like, I thought Sam played really well on Saturday night. I think some guys, when you watch the film, sometimes you're like, that's an errant throw up here. Then you watch the tape, and a guy who's supposed to sit it down at 5 yards runs 7, and, he's having to adjust. So, I just wanted to make sure I had a chance to talk about that practice before we started this practice. So it's a weird thing with it's really a weird thing with the way the training camp's set up. So have a night practice into an off day and then not have a chance to talk about it. So.
On that note about seeing it on tape, and maybe you need to, but do you know what might have happened on Sam's first throw at team?
Oh, today was not good enough at any. And I can't comment on the defense, so I'm gonna keep that strictly to the offense. I mean, we ran the wrong routes, So when we run the wrong routes, puts two guys in position. So if there is a tip ball, the defender's right there. I mean, everything's spaced out properly for a reason. And I mean, today was really poor on offense at times. I mean, I will say there's always good things that happen. I thought you saw some leadership from some guys. I thought they ran the ball well, but the false starts, the fumbles, the interceptions, the missed assignments, really disappointing.
What do
So
you chalk it up to?
I don't know. Because I don't even think, like, my mind is like, it doesn't matter, right? Like, there's 1,000 reasons why. This game is so simple. Either you get it done or you don't. And so, I'll go back and watch the tape. I'll see a lot of good things on offense. I'll see some things on defense that were really not that good. I mean, we had some false starts and we had some, things in the back end. We're grabbing way too much on defense. So, we are a work in progress. We're definitely a team that needs to get in pads, though. Get some physicality out and see who can really play.
Man, we've asked you a lot about Jeremy Chin. There aren't a lot of teams that take a player who is really effective one position and try moving them. And talk about why you guys did that and how he's looking back there since then.
Because it's a good question. I think we recognize his skill set is only being partially used in one position, and so. You go back and watch. He played a lot of deep safety reps last year, so it's just repping him and training him a little differently. I think we'll still use him in a lot of the same ways, but it's really that. And I just think in terms of who he is, I mean, he's versatile. To use him in only one area is not taking advantage of his true, ability level.
Like, what do you want to see the true ability? What are you saying?
I want to see him play down around the line of scrimmage. But play on the back end, play man. Pressure, I think he's someone that he can just move all around the field.
Is there an antsiness to get into pads? Could that might be attributed to some of the sloppiness today?
Again, I can't. I don't. You just guys know me. I'm not going to ever sit there because it sounds. I don't make excuses and I don't let others make them for us. Like, I don't care if we came out here and it had rained all night and the field was sloppy. Like, our job is to go out there and execute and play good football. So, I could let them off the hook and say, well, that was an off day, but. That's not what this game's about. This game's about finding a way to get it done. And so we did not get it done well enough today in certain periods and at certain times. So luckily about training camp, you have another day tomorrow to try to go out there and get it fixed.
Matt, do you have an update on AJ and Shaq?
Shaq was limited today. I mean, there was some thought that he could go, and it just made more sense to me to try to just sit him today and then try to get him ready for tomorrow, put him in pads. And then AJ, I don't. I know he just came up lame and just pulled something. So we'll see. We'll see as the day goes on how that looks.
Is JC starting to settle in a little bit? The way early in camp he wasn't as sharp, but now the last 3 interceptions now in the last couple of practices.
Say that. I'm sorry. Who?
JC, is he starting to settle in?
Yeah, but JC's he's grabbing and holding way too much. I mean, a lot of those calls are going to get called back. So I love JC's. Tenacity, but he's got to master his craft along the way, and he knows that. I mean, but the ball finds him. He certainly finds a way to get to the ball. I mean, there's no doubt about the things he can do. But like any player, I mean, you see the good things, you got to work on the bad things, and some of the guys we only see the bad things, and I got to focus on the good things. So there's a balance to all of us. JC's just a young player. He's going to get better and better.
That Trent Kennedy's been practicing some with the wide receivers. Is he going to primarily play that, and so what's the change?
Yeah, I think Trenton. We look at Trenton as one of the premier gunners in the league, who's also an excellent returner. So he's really that's he's a special teams standout. So we've just tried to utilize different ways to rep him at practice, to utilize his speed, play him at receiver. We know he can play running back, but his main role on this team for us is as a gunner, as a returner, as a special teams standout.
Matt, with what you have been able to evaluate pre-pads with Jermaine Carter, what have you seen from him so far?
It's a good question. Jermaine's very active, very vocal in terms of making the communication checks. He's right a lot. he's up in the 230s now. You know, I think when I got here he was like 218, so he looks like a big linebacker. So I think we see some good things from him. You know, when we put the pads on and get into the games and all that, that's when the next step for him has to happen. But I've been pleased with him so far.
Do you see the wide receiver hierarchy being more situational, or do you think that there will be some separation, especially at that third receiver spot?
I mean, we play a lot. We've been playing a lot with two receivers on the field. We'll try to rotate those guys, but Robbie and DJ are the primary focus. I think when you get to third down, I think obviously we've been adding in Terrace Marshall and David Moore, in 11 personnel. But obviously Robbie and DJ to us are our two sort of leaders in that group, and then the other guys are growing and learning. When David's learning the system for the first time, Terrace is learning the system for the first time. So there's a lot. That's one of the things today. There was a lot of mistakes. I mean, our guys are having to understand you have to come prepared every day, knowing what the new install is.
You referenced rain. I think there is rain in tomorrow morning's forecast. I'm guessing you'll stay out in it. Right?
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why we practice in the morning. Not having an indoor is so that we can always bump it back if there's lightning. It looked like there was a chance maybe for lightning today, or tomorrow, or the next day. So, if there's if it looks like it's going to be done by 11, I'd always just move the practice to 11. I don't see any need to let's go out and try to get in the rain.
But no real indoor option.
No, I don't unless we go in the gym and bang it around a little bit. I think we'll be out here at some point, and it being the first day in pads, I'd like it to be the best possible weather.
What do you think of? I think they're being called Chin Baby LeBron. What do you think of that nickname for him? How fitting is that?
It's first I've heard of it, and I have really no comment on that. I don't know anything about
I mean, LeBron's a pretty big compliment. So I mean, when you think of Chin, is that pretty high cotton for that?
Yeah, I have no comment on that. I don't. Okay. I mean that in respectful. Yeah, I just call him Chinny.
Y'all have anything else?
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Matt.
Appreciate it.
It's been smooth. I mean, I've played the position my whole life, so it's natural. It's being back there, a little different perspective than it was last year, but I feel right at home.
So was there any adjustment having played so much linebacker?
Really, I mean, after the first couple practices, you just get back to the safety group. You kind of change your mindset from playing when you know you're close to the line of scrimmage, and when you know you're kind of deeper, you have a different mindset of playing. But once you get past that, then it's just football.
Do you like it? Do you like this move?
Playing safety? Yeah, I love playing safety. I mean, I love playing both positions.
I gotta ask you about Baby LeBron nickname. What do you think about that?
I don't know where that came from, but I don't know how I feel about it yet.
I mean, when you compare to LeBron James, that's pretty high. Pretty.
I mean, yeah, he's probably my favorite basketball player of all time. But it's an honor being compared to his ability for sure.
Do you think playing in the back end puts you in a position to make more impact plays, or just different impact plays?
I would say they're different impact plays for sure. You have a different effect on the game playing close to the line of scrimmage and playing deeper in the field. So I think I'll definitely still have my opportunities to make plays, and so I would say different for sure.
Yes, you'd be in position maybe, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but more ball in the air type plays.
Right.
Having moved back, did you at all have to lose any weight?
No, I haven't lost any weight.
How about your uncle? Is he giving you more advice this year that's been helpful? You talked to him more knowing you're going to play more safety this year?
We talk a decent amount. Really the same tips and things from last year, stuff like that.
Jeremy, when you were out during OTAs and minicamp, not able to be out there, you were always hanging around with Jason, always absorbing that kind of stuff. How different was it trying to learn that just mental reps as opposed to being able to be on a field and doing it?
Yeah, it's always different. When you're watching film and taking mental reps and compared to actually being on the field and doing those things. But I think learning any position, it takes actual reps, real reps. So it's a little bit different.
Have they given you the freedom to come up closer to the line in certain situations, or you haven't gotten to that point yet?
Yeah, they've given me a lot of freedom. you know, we have certain rules, certain things I can and can't do, but they're definitely letting me play freely and, you know, making me feel comfortable back there.
Do you feel more free than you were, say, last year when you kind of had to play in more of a confined role?
I mean, in certain areas, certain roles, you know, there'll be situations where I am more freely and in other situations where I'm kind of restricted a little bit as far as where I can go and things I can do.
What have you seen out of J.C. Horn so far?
He's made a lot of plays. He's definitely a playmaker. You know, there's still a learning curve, you know, for him being a rookie, but I think his head is in the right spot. He'll continue to make strides.
You guys as a defense made a lot of plays today, and I understand you're not in pads, but is that, you know, do you kind of get excited about days like this and what it could mean for this defense going forward?
Yeah, I mean, we want to win every single day, win every single rep. So, you know, today wasn't a perfect day by any means, but we did get the ball out, and we know how important that is.
Jeremy, as you enter your second season, what's the biggest thing you think you're more comfortable with on the field up against an NFL offense?
Yeah, I would say, you know, the first part is understanding our defense, and also from their side, understanding maybe what they're trying to do in certain situations. Definitely taking that, you know, football IQ step.
Is creating more turnovers this year the way you all take the next step? One of the ways you take the next step?
For sure. You know, all great defenses, they take the ball away. They, you know, create turnovers, create takeaways. So I feel like in any defense, that definitely would be a big step into improving. Yeah.
Daquan said a few others, I think, suggested that this could be one of the best defenses in the league. What do you see that gives you that feeling, if you believe that's the potential?
Yeah, and that's the way we attack every single day. That's the way we carry ourselves. I mean, you ask any guy on defense, he's going to say the same thing. So it's just a standard and living it up every single day, you know, in every meeting, even when we're away from here, you know, just keeping that standard.
How good are you at basketball?
I didn't play in high school, but, you know, I'm more of a defensive player. I'm not a shooter. I'm not a scorer. But I'll lock down your favorite player.
Anything else? Jeremy, thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.